I've just received instructions 30 minutes ago from Mr. Walviri, Peter Walviri, and he's an interested party. He's interested in joining this matter as a party.
Tomorrow, I'm ready to have fight rejoinder with submission. Get a rejoinder by 30th, which is the Tuesday night.
The ruling to be delivered by
March.
It should be by 1st of October.
Much of it.
Yeah, my lord, we seek guidance. For
Okay,
most obliged.
that's behind the administrative. So they check the registry.
Okay, most obliged.
We are before court basically to ask court to compel the Electoral Commission to nominate the UPC candidate for the office of the President, the Honorable Akena. The Electoral Commission has opposed our application. They stated that nomination closed yesterday, so the application is overtaken by events. It is our submission that it is not. The Electoral Commission on its own can even open the nomination. And I am aware that there are many other aspirants who are aggrieved. Should the Electoral Commission find merit in the appeal, they can open. But the second window is coming to court. The High Court has the unlimited original jurisdiction to entertain this matter, and if they find merit in our application, which we are mainly saying that under the law there is no legal basis to stop Jim Akena from being nominated. There is nothing that invalidates his nomination, and he's ready to send his message to the people of Uganda. So all we are asking court is that the Electoral Commission seem to be part of a scheme to frustrate and sabotage the Uganda People's Congress. And it is our submission that the High Court should compel them, and then the Commission should do its work in facilitating all the players to go out to Ugandans to ask for the vote. So court has given us directions that we should file submissions by close of business tomorrow. Then the respondent Electoral Commission will rejoin, and if we have another rejoiner, we do by 30th, and we expect a ruling on 1st of October. We know it might still affect the candidate because campaigns will begin officially on the 29th, but we can still catch up with the 2 days. We can catch up. After all, some of the candidates that have been nominated may not even be able to reach all corners of the country because some of them don't have the means and the structures to reach there. Not at the presidential level, because this is also unprecedented. It is the first time that a candidate has met all requirements and then the Electoral Commission decides to disqualify. It is the first time. But at lower levels, we have had so many decisions where the Electoral Commission nominated candidates outside the gazetted periods.
Which orders?
We are seeking an order to quash the decision of the Electoral Commission through a letter signed by the chairman of the EC that the Honorable Jimmy Akena is not the party flag bearer and therefore cannot present himself for nomination. If that decision is quashed, we are then seeking an order of mandamus to compel now the EC to do the actual nomination.
Okay, and finally from you.
The disqualification has no basis in law. The disqualification has no facts. It is just purely politically orchestrated sabotage. And it is very surprising that the Electoral Commission has allowed to be part and parcel of that illegality. It's really sad, and we ask those who are politically threatened by the candidature of Jimmy Akena to prepare a message and send to the voters that don't elect him because of these reasons. Elect me, other than blocking him. It's really unfair and very shameful. Election is the only peaceful means available to any Ugandan who wants to offer themselves for leadership. We don't intend to go to the bush. Some people were even allowed in the past to compete in an election. They lost, but they still ran to the bush. For us, we are saying no. We just want to speak to Ugandans. And if the Ugandans agree with the message of UPC and they elect Jimmy Akena, then so be it.
And finally,
In the end, that's why we are here in court. We still have hope, and UPC has structures. It is a party that is has some record with Ugandans. Within a few months, we shall reach out to them. So they should retain hope until we inform them otherwise.
thank you so much.
Well, this application seeks an order requiring Electoral Commission to nominate Honorable Jimmy Akena. You are aware that the nominations of the presidential candidates closed yesterday by 4 p.m. And indeed, you are aware that the Electoral Commission guided the UPC to comply with its constitution. To that effect and to that end, that guidance, I think, was not taken into consideration, and they opted to come to court. I do not think, as we wait for the decision of court, that indeed there's anything court in the circumstances can do considering the evidence before court. So we await the decision of court on this matter, but as far as I'm concerned, the matter has been overtaken by events. Nomination closed, and by the time nomination closed, UPC had not complied with its constitution. So if it had complied with this constitution, therefore, maybe you never know, the commission would have looked at their nomination and other requirements in compliance with the constitution and maybe take a decision. So as for now, that is it.
There's no distinct that a nomination can be open.
Well, it is based on evidence. It is based on the evidence and facts. And in respect of this is not among those cases that EC can reopen nomination. Well, but it's akwemulugunya nti akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kalina birina okusaba kooti nti akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kaba nominating. Mwena mukimanyi nti nomination z'obwa president ababagwaniriza ekifo eky'obwa president zawedde jjo saawa 10, naye commission yali ebawadde guidance nti basooke bagobere amateeka ge constitution g'ekibiina kyabwe nga ennaku zinawera ez'okwewandiikisa. Katibe kye basaalamu okujja wano mu kooti nti basabe kooti ebakkirize baba nominating. Kooti etuwadde ennaku z'okuddamu, katulinde ebinaava mu kooti ekineesaalawo kyekigenda kutwala ekyo.
My name is Joseph Ochieno of the Uganda People's Congress. Of course, we are here to continue the process that started quite a long time ago, and that should have ended a long time ago. But as far as today is concerned, we shouldn't really be in court, because it's very clearly the case that the Electoral Commission met with the 4 leaders of Uganda People's Congress, including myself. 3 of them are officially calling themselves presidents. That is contested. 3 people picked nomination forms, including myself. 1 responded to it, but of course the matter for the Electoral Commission was whether or not they should nominate, in this case particularly, 2 individuals, and one of them was Akena, who had returned his nomination forms and preparing. The Electoral Commission rejected his intended application, basically gave a guidance, a directive. Actually, it was not even a decline, because as it turns out, Mr. Akena hadn't paid nomination fees. He hadn't had his nomination papers sorted, and they had not been formally presented. So technically, it was not a rejection. But of course, the Electoral Commission guided that on the basis of the law and the provisions of Uganda People's Congress's constitution and pending matters in court, that we needed to sort out ourselves and our house in order first before they proceed. Of course, Jimmy's team decided to sue the Electoral Commission, and that's what the matter which was appearing today before Justice Namanya. As it happens,
To your side, what is your interest in the matter?
of course, as you know, I am the one who filed an injunction that blocked Jim Akena's alleged delegates conference. So basically, Jimmy's presentation as the president of the party is null and void. 1, because he's not, but 2, because Justice Irene Muliagonja ruled in a court of appeal way back in 2020, dismissing Jim Akena's application, asking for fresh elections. Fresh elections did take place. I participated in that election. I won it. It was fudged. I decided to go to court and seek a judicial review. I'm waiting for an outcome of that. So anything that happens contrary to the position of the court today with the matter before Justice Joyce Kavuma obviously would prejudice my case, and particularly if Jim Akena went on and was presented as the president of the party, it would be in conflict and a contradiction, and it would basically render my case against Walubiri null and void, but particularly also pending a permanent injunction that had sought against Jim Akena way back in 2021, it would also be technically a matter that would have been overtaken by events.
Before the registrar,
Okay. Most of right.
that be under the administrative. So they check the registrar.
Okay. Most of right.